Hey guys, this is Steve Corrigan from the PTC community bringing you another tutorial. Today's tutorial is kind of a beginner copy geom, which stands for copy geometry. I'm basically going to take geometry from another part and bring it into another part and use it to add and remove material. It saves me a lot of time, and it's pretty easy to do, so I'm going to show you guys how to do that. You can see I have a cover here and I have a tank that's going through my cover, and these are both solids. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to hide my machine cover, and I'm going to unhide my casting, because my casting is what drives my machine cover. So I'm going to activate my cover. Now I'm going to left click on the tank until I pick up a surface, and once I do, I'm going to hold Control and pick up the other surface, and I'm going to hit Control C, Control V, which is copy and paste. I'm basically copying, pasting that surface from the tank into my cover. So if I open my cover up, you'll see that I now have the location of the tank as a reference in my my casting. So you're probably saying, well, how do we add material using surfaces? Well, this is pretty simple. Basically, I know my wall thickness is 18 millimeters, so I'm going to add the inside material first. So I'm going to select the surfaces that I copied. I'm going to go to Edit, Offset, and I'm going to offset the amount of material that I need. Okay, so that surface represents the wall thickness that I'm going to need after I make my cut. So what you're going to want to do now is you're going to want to come into your inside of your casting and pick up the surfaces that intersect that offset that you just made. Then I'm going to do a Control C, Control V for a copy and paste. Now, the reason you're doing this is because you have to have two surfaces that intersect each other all the way around in order to do a merge of those two surfaces, and then to do a solidify, add material, or cut material. And I'm going to show you that in a second. Okay, so I have the surface created for the inside that I need to intersect with the offset that I did. So I'm going to select both of those, go to Edit, and I'm going to go to Merge. When you go into Merge, you're going to see two arrows, and they're basically previewing to you what is going to be created from that merge of those two surfaces that you copied together. So you can see it gives me different results based on how I am changing the arrows. Now I want to create this material as a solid inside my core, or inside my casting, so I'm going to hit the green check mark. I'm going to leave it highlighted. I'm going to go to Edit, and I'm going to go to Solidify, and up here on the left you'll see there's a Add Material, Remove Material. So I'm adding this material from those surfaces, and I'm hitting OK. So now that material is actually inside my casting, and it's solid. You'll see, because I can fillet it or radius it, and we'll make that 20. So now I have the material inside my casting, but now I need to cut away a clearance for the outside of my casting. And a quick and easy way again is to select the original copy that you brought in, go to Edit, go to Offset, offset the distance that you want your cut or your clearance from your tank, and now I have to select surfaces to intersect that to create another merge solidify. So I'm just control left clicking, picking up the surfaces that intersect it so you can see where they intersect. I'm going to hit control C, control V, and now I have the two surfaces that I want. I'm going to select both of those in my tree and go to edit, and I'm going to merge those. Now again, it's going to bring up you know, what do you want to do with the shape, and this is exactly what I want. This is the material that I want to remove, so that's the surface that I wanted to create. So I hit OK, I select that merge, I go to solidify, and I'm going to subtract. Now you'll notice that when I go to subtract, there's an arrow here, and depending which way you have that arrow, it's letting you know which way it's going to subtract the material. So now I'm gonna put this original copy geom on this layer here and hide the layer so you can see the final product here. Hit OK. I'm going to hide that layer and save the status. Alright, so this is now 100% complete, well, except for a fillet I guess I could put out here. And you'll notice when I go back into my assembly, this is a 100% solid part. I use surfaces to create surfaces and copy geom, solidify to create this dent in my cover rather quickly. It was pretty simple. If you have questions, you can always, as usual, ask them in the comment section. I'm going to go back to my cover assembly. Now you'll notice that this is my casting, so I'm going to hide my casting and unhide my machine model. And you're probably saying, oh, it's still interfering. Well, no, it's not, because I'm going to regenerate it. And my cover updated, and you can see I have my clearance, and I have my material on the inside, and everything is perfect. Now, if you're wondering how I created the cover and the casting machined, there's a tutorial I have where I explain how I link the two models, but I'll quickly show you. If you go into I always start with the casting. So I want my casting to always drive my machine model. So this is my casting model. When you open up my machine model, at the very top of the tree, you're going to see an external merge ID. Well, all that is if you go to Insert, Shared Data, Merge Inheritance, you actually can select a file like your casting as your first part. You'll see it brings up a window here. This is my casting in this window. This is the first part in this part file. So what ends up happening is whenever I change my casting, it updates here. And the only thing I care about in my machine model is that I have my cuts for my machining. It makes for an easier drawing when you go to do your machine drawing. So that's typically why I set my models up that way. And then, down the road, this is a good example of how those changes are easily controlled. I know that anything that affects the casting, is going to be in the casting from. I won't have to dig around and look in the machine model for that cut. I know it's going to be in my casting part of my model. So I hope you guys found this tutorial useful. I hope you learned a little bit about surfaces and how they work. If you have any questions, you can always comment and rate the video, and I'll answer them as best I can. Thanks.